Hey everybody, this is Martin Rooney, and it is another episode of The Big Idea Live. And I want to give you a little look where I'm at right now. You might be saying, hey, is Martin presenting right now from paradise? Is that where he is? Because man, last week it was rainy Seattle. The week before that it was chilly Berlin. But now I want to show you where I'm at. So guys, come check this out right here. I am in sunny and beautiful Orlando, Florida. So we got palm trees, we got swimming pools, man, you got Disney, you got Universal, it's all here, the sun, the oranges, we are in Florida, but that's not the big idea I got for you. I got some big ideas today and I cannot wait to share it. But before I do, I want to tell you something, because when people kind of seek out my information, what I notice is, guys, and this is really important, if you're on this call right now, man, that means you're probably here. Whether it's your business or your money or your family life or your fitness, you're here and you want to be here. You want to close that gap. A little secret right now on how you don't get more. You want to know how more doesn't happen? Everybody listen good. It's the 4 most dangerous words you can say to yourself. The 4 most dangerous words. You ready? I already know that. The 4 most dangerous words you could say, I already know that. Oh yeah, Martin, yeah, you know, I want to lose weight. Yeah, I need 8 hours of sleep. Yeah, I already know that. No, you don't know that if you're not getting 8 hours of sleep. You're holding yourself back. So I am at the show. So here, we'll bring back over so everybody's comfortable.
Brian Wolf said to feed him.
Get ready to get fed, Wolf. We are going to feed the good wolf right now in Brooklyn. That's guaranteed. But here's what I would say. Here's what I would say. If you're saying I already know that, it's the wrong answer, and you might be saying it more than you think. You know how I know that? I am here, so this weekend, I am at the Perform Better Summit, the first ever summit in Orlando. It's a 3-day event with some of the top fitness minds in the world. And you know what I could do? I could make a big mistake. You know what I could do? I could not go into any of the lectures. I could not talk to any of the presenters. I could just sit there and say, man, I already know that. I already know what those guys know. I know all my stuff. And you know what? It's not the goal. It's not the goal. So here's the big idea. Get ready to write it down if you want, or you can watch the replay. Here is the big idea of the week that I got today here in Orlando as I sweat in the sun, and I should have put on sunscreen. The big idea. The goal in life is not knowing everything and everyone. The goal in life is growing from everything and everyone. Did everybody hear that? See, I think a lot of people, I've met so many people already today, and a lot of people, I think they think the job is to know everything. Like, it's almost like our egos tell us we have to know it all. Like, if I know it all now, I'm safe and I'm strong. No, no, no. You got to ask yourself a big question today. Big idea. Are you a knower or are you a grower? Are you a knower or are you a grower? And I'm going to challenge you right now, because the most successful people I've met, the people that I have seen enjoy the most success, they are not knowers, they are not know-it-alls, they're growers. They grow from it all, right? And we're going to talk about that a little bit. So don't just take my word for it, right? Don't take my word for it on the big idea. I mean, I consider as a grower, I gotta always seek counsel, and we're gonna talk about that. I gotta see what other people are doing. So I enlisted some bright minds. I'm gonna give you my 4 tips today. My 4 tips on how to be a grower. Ready? I already told you how not to be, right? Say, I already know that. Always say, yeah, I already know that. Yeah, I already know that. Oh, this guy talking about this, or, oh yeah, you're supposed to get a regular exercise. Yeah, I already know that. No, you gotta be a grower. So here are my 4 tips, and I'm gonna elicit some bright minds. So tip number 1. Tip number 1 comes from Albert Einstein. Have you heard of him? Albert Einstein. Guys, let me tell you something about when you know you're smart. Do you know how you know when you're smart? You know you're smart when you die and they take out your brain to take a look because you were so smart, right? And that's what they did with Albert Einstein's brain. And you know what they found in his brain? Do you know what they found? There was this special section of these glial cells that were devoted towards thinking, or kind of like playing with ideas in their mind. And he had the biggest area of this of anyone they've ever seen. But when he was already asked, he already gave that secret away. So tip number 1, you ready? Albert Einstein said, I'm not any more talented than anybody else. I'm just passionately curious. Did you guys hear that? Did you guys hear that word? Like, how strong is that? Passionately curious. So you want to be a grower? Hey, I'm challenging you right now. What are you passionately curious about? What is the thing that gets you up early, keeps you up late? What are you so curious about that instead of being confident and acting like you know it all, you'll do whatever it takes to use the 6 most powerful words you can say to grow? So I told you the 4 most powerful not to grow. 4 most powerful not to grow. I already know that. You ready for the 6 most powerful if you want to grow? 6 most powerful if you want to grow? You ready? How can I find out more? How can I find out more? 6 powerful words that if you said that every day when you woke up about something you were passionately curious about, you would be unstoppable. Does everybody hear that? And today, I'll tell you what, today, tomorrow, the next day at this show, guys, I want to find out more. I want to keep finding out more about training and how I can help more people. How do I find out more? Now that leads me to number 2. So we got Albert Einstein, but another pretty smart guy. Hey guys, you ever heard of Isaac Newton? Sir Isaac Newton. So first, if you have Sir in front of your name, you're already smart. But Sir Isaac Newton, do you know what that cat did? Yeah, we could talk about the apple falling from the tree and, you know, discovering that small little force called gravity. That's kind of big. But what impresses me is he invented calculus. Now, if you ever got to the point in mathematics that you even had to learn it, like I did, guys, it's hard. Like, that stuff was really hard to understand. But do you know why he did it? Do you know why Isaac Newton invented calculus? He invented it because there was not a form of mathematics that existed strong enough to help him with the ideas he had. So, pretty smart cat. Like, I don't know about you, but like, man, I wish I could go around inventing forms of mathematics, but probably not gonna happen. So, pretty talented guy. And you know what he said? You know what he said with all his achievements and all the incredible things that he's done that actually, guys, has explained a lot about the world around you, changed history with his ideas? He said, if I have seen further, it is only because I stood on the shoulders of giants. So tip number 2, if you want to be a grower. Tip number 1, be passionately curious. Tip number 2, seek counsel of others. Seek counsel of others. Guys, what books are you reading? What seminars are you attending? What people are you meeting? Where are you going? Like, guys, this is some of the most important stuff you could be doing. It's not on Netflix. Guys, you're not gonna grow from the next season of Game of Thrones. Get it straight. I even got the guy behind the camera laughing right now as the sweat is filling my eye. So guys, I don't care where you're going for the information, but you better be growing from the information. So, if I go to your Facebook page and you say, man, I'm not making the money I want, or I don't have the life I want, but I see your Facebook page and it shows a bunch of stacks of DVDs and you say, whoa, I know what I'm doing with my next month of my life, then you're not growing, you're just knowing something that's not important. So, seek counsel. Number 2. Number 1, be passionately curious about something. Number 2, seek counsel. Build a team around you how to learn. Consider myself a bit of a writer. I've written some books as an author. So this guy, hey, you know, whether you've read The Old Man and the Sea, hey guys, Ernest Hemingway, pretty renowned as one of the great American writers, right? And hey guys, here's tip number 3, and I love this one because it's so contradictory, right? If you said, hey, do you want to be a better writer? Of course you gotta write. Of course you gotta read. But Hemingway took it even one step further. He said, when people talk, completely listen. Did everybody hear that? Listen completely. And he said, because most people don't do that. See, when people talk, listen completely, because most people don't do that. Man, did you hear that? You want to be a better writer? You got to listen. You want to be more fit? You got to listen completely. People don't do that. And how do I know? I have had dozens of conversations here already through this seminar event at the Perform Better Summit. And there's been 2 types of people. Some people walk up and they ask me something so they can tell me what they know. And then some people walk up and they ask me something because they want to know. There's a difference between knowers and growers. That's why it's the big idea. So again, for anybody joining me right now, the big idea of the week before we get to tip 4, the goal in life is not knowing everything and everyone. The goal in life is growing from everything and everyone. Everybody is your superior in some way. Everybody can teach you something. Every interaction you can become more, but you gotta pull that out. You got to pull that out, and that's one of the challenges I have. So tip number 1, you want to be a great grower. Be passionately curious about something. Tip number 2, seek counsel of others. You got to make sure that you're building a great team. Tip number 3, I just said, listen completely. When you guys, it's like a tennis match. When you serve over your question, you got to wait for the answer to come back, baby. You got to listen with everything you got instead of thinking about what you say. It's a skill. And then, because of listening, there's one more thing you got to do. And I'm quoting the next genius, the next person that has probably had more influence on my life than almost anyone else. This next person who was a fitness educator who got involved with cancer research and all these other things. It was such an inspiration in my life, and that is my mom. So my mother, Jean Rooney, and man, she's got a lot of quotes for me that she's helped me out with, but here's the one she used to give me a lot. You ready? She would say, don't ask, don't get. Don't ask, don't get. See, if you don't ask questions, you can't get the answer. She was smart enough to show me that. Hey, she was an entrepreneur, owned multiple businesses. She did all these things, an inspiration for me, but she was always willing to ask. The only way you're gonna grow is you gotta ask about what you don't know. See, the motivational poet right here. The only way you're gonna grow is ask about what you don't know. Right? And that's what she said. So don't ask, don't get. Are you endlessly curious? Are you asking questions every day? What questions are you asking? And that could be questions you're asking of a book or another person. But guys, until you ask the question, you don't get to listen. Go find it out. And then ultimately, if you're not building a team and seeking the counsel of others, it can't happen. Then you're just playing Game of Thrones Season 7 talking about dragons or something, which I don't even know what it's about right now. So, right there, guys, those are my 4 tips. And as I am spitting the motivation, I got sweat and salt in my eyes, but I'm fired up because of you. But here's what I would say. In finality, because I just brought that up about my mom, and I think that might be the toughest one. I know you're curious about something, and I know you could probably build a team around you. And I know, you could listen. But did you hear that part about asking questions? Because I know, guys, everywhere I go, I'll watch 10, 15 people stand around me in a circle, but they're too afraid to ask a question. That happened yesterday when I was at a facility. It happened today. Guys, you gotta ask. But watch this. You gotta not be afraid to ask for help. Did everybody hear that? That might be my final tip. Could be big idea number 2 today, but you cannot be afraid to ask for help. I don't know if it's ego. I don't know if it's you're afraid to admit your weaknesses, but here's what I'm gonna share with you. You're not strong because you got no weaknesses. You're strong when you admit them and you ask for help and you defeat them. That is what a grower does. They are okay to be able to say, I don't know everything. I don't know is an okay thing to say, but I will say this. You wanna have real courage? Real courage isn't thinking you know everything and saying nothing. Real courage is asking for help when you need it, because that's how you're gonna grow, help yourself, and help somebody else. So what I'm gonna do right now, that was the message I had for you, but we're gonna give some shout outs. So wherever you're coming in from in the world, I got Phil Squatrito, Coach Squats behind the camera right now.
Sunshine State, baby.
Hey, if there have been some, comments or quotes or anybody's on fire, because right now, guys, the epitome of on fire, it's about 100 degrees and I'm roasting, but I had to do this one for you because I was pumped
Martin,
up.
I got a question for you, Martin.
Okay.
I got a question for you. Where is
Give it to
John
me.
Prano?
Is that one of the questions? John Prano, sitting up in New York, didn't want to come down and join us. He's singing songs to his bulldog. Next.
Awesome. Shout out Gary Gonzalez, Matt Carter,
Hey,
Kenny,
Gary and Matt.
Paul.
We got Oregon. We got OKC.
Roz Slaughter, Sarah Allen, Paul Whitfield, Hot Solo
All right,
in the
Hot
house.
Solo from Finland, Paul Whitfield from Newcastle, UK. I hope everything is going well. And I know all these guys in the network. Guys, you guys are growers, man. But take this advice. I'm challenging everybody. I'm challenging everybody in my TFW network. Guys, put the TV remote down. Shut off some of the stuff you're doing. Grab a book. Get some questions. And get better today. Who else do we got? Give me some.
Ryan Liu, Thomas Castleberry, Brian the Animal Wolf.
Brian, one way to grow, guys, is
Toby.
Don't put a sneaker in your blender. Is that Toby Lydiard?
Yeah.
Toby Lydiard in the house. I hope I'm bringing the fire.
Kiem on his birthday. Kiem on his birthday's in the house.
Kiem Melly?
Yeah.
It's his birthday?
Yeah, that's it.
I hope, happy birthday, number 1. Going out to you in California. I hope all is well with you and the family. But hey, thanks for joining me. I hope this was a good gift. This was, maybe one of the best gifts I could give you today.
Robert Hernandez from Royal Palm Beach, Florida.
Uh-oh, on fire.
There we go. Christopher Donor from Omaha.
All right.
There's just a monstrous list.
All right, hey,
on
so
this.
if anybody's got any questions or any comments or anything, are there any in there, or how's it going, or what do we got?
What is a TV? That's one question. So obviously he's reading the right thing.
Hey, I like what I hear right there. So that guy's allowed to say, I already know that. So if you don't even know what a TV is, and I say don't watch TV, then you already know that, and you're already getting one step serious. You know what I always heard, guys? For everybody listening, you know what I heard the TV was called? What my mom used to call it when I was a kid? She would call it the income reducer box. That's what she would call it, the income reducer box. That's the kind of kick in the pants I got, you know. But my mom also did some other stuff. If you were sick, she gave me a clove of garlic and some honey. I choked that down, went to school. No days off. What do I got?
Prano wants to know how to get his calves bigger.
All right. Prano, well, one thing is to stop sitting down with your guitar, stand up and do some pogo jumps. But in all seriousness, guys, unfortunately, calves are sometimes very, very genetic. And, you know, but beyond the topic of this discussion for today, we'll talk about calf success and how to turn your calves into cows later.
What is Game of Thrones? There we go. Yeah,
hey, guys,
exactly
for anybody that enjoys that show, I don't know. Hey, if you're getting your business done and your life is on point and everything's great, then you're allowed to enjoy some of that stuff. If it isn't, guys, give me some more questions because I gotta seriously get out of this sun because I got no sunscreen on.
Yeah, well, it looks like that's it for the questions, man. But yeah, I'm melting the cameraman's shoulder.
But hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. Every week I'm going to try to bring it, but here's what I'm asking of you. If you guys enjoyed this message, what I think is really powerful, and it takes me an entire week to put the idea together, to percolate in it, guys, hey, share it with somebody else. I'll always say it, when everybody shares, everybody wins. So guys, share this one. There's somebody out there that could benefit. Somebody needs to hear this, whether it's one of your clients, a family member, somebody needs to hear this thing. And if you share it, that's one way to grow too. So guys, don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to give somebody some help.
Prano asked if the cameraman's wearing a visor.
The cameraman, I will say it, he is wearing a visor right now. So that is true. But hey, in Florida, guys, visors are legal, so you are allowed to wear them. So hey guys, I'm gonna sign this one off. I thought this was another great message. I hope everybody enjoyed it. And hey, coming in from Orlando, Florida, the home of palm trees and the home of Florida oranges and everything else. This is Martin Rooney with the latest big ideas signing off. But here's what I'll ask you guys. Take those 4 tips, and I'll say this. Don't use the 4 most dangerous words. Next time you're ready to say, I already know that, instead say, how can I find out more? You do that, and you're going to be the most successful person you know. So, this is Martin Rooney signing off from Training for Warriors, and I'm going to keep bringing you more to help you bring out the warrior within. Hoo-ha!